What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about NIO. I want to go over some of the data points, what is moving it today, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So NIO is up 1.16%, 664 the high, 646 the low. So we did have another run up of this kind of heavy resistance. Right now we've kind of consolidated a little bit, but we're also seeing some fairly low volume today. So about 21.8 million shares being traded. As far as macro data coming from China, we just had balance of trade. That was obviously Monday evening, and it was a little bit lower than the forecast. So not necessarily the greatest, but again, that kind of narrative could spin for a positive reason for stimulus going forward. Aside from that, next big data is going to be coming out Wednesday evening. That is GDP, retail sales, and so forth. So that's going to be most likely what really moves a lot of Chinese stocks come Thursday. But big thing for today is just positive updates coming from the Middle East in regards to kind of negotiations with the states associated to NIO. Interestingly enough, there really hasn't been anything. So no real milestone or launch updates. Only article kind of worthwhile to bring up is this right here. So how the ES9 does fill a unmet demand, and that's just for kind of richer individuals. Obviously a very targeted audience right there. But as what I've brought up already, there is some pretty good looking demand. Bank of China is also expecting between 3,000 to 4,000 monthly units. So I think overall this is good. Again, this isn't official news, but still it's insider type of contact and so forth, as what Claudio does tend to do. But aside from that one piece of news, it's just people and institutions waiting for the next big thing. So when it comes down to NIO, shorts are returning 240,000 shares. 7.06% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 143.81 million shares overall are being shorted. So you kind of still see some signs of naked shorting. So shares on loan being 104. That obviously shouldn't happen. And as you can kind of see, first thing, shorts were increasing about 670,000 shares, and then they kind of have been returning throughout the trading day. So they did add some extra volatility, I guess, first thing, and most likely their goal was to again hit it off of that heavy resistance level first thing. So that's something that shorts tend to do, and this is something I've brought up time and time again, that they like to hit NIO at key kind of structural points just to really break it based on the technicals. From the options viewpoint, we're seeing a little bit of an uptick in volume, which is always welcomed, but 4.27 million in calls, 338,000 in puts. Net premiums are going up by 656,000, so it does signal that there is a little bit of a building demand. Aside from that, though, from a bull standpoint, you see a consensus for it to be between that 7 to 750. So a lot of kind of optimism is on the table, which is again always a good thing. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub 6, and most likely they might be assuming 6, possibly because of some increased tensions again in the Middle East, or maybe peace talks not really going according to plan. So that is maybe where bears are coming from. Plus we do have a lot of big companies putting out their earnings, and some of that could kind of spook the broader market, as what we've seen with Netflix time and time again. On the secondary market, we're only seeing one transaction above $100,000. So big money's not really doing that much today. There's one buy for 107. But aside from that, though, on the dark pool, you see a little bit more transactions. But then again, given what shorts have done today, as per usual, dark pool is primarily used by them. And this is unfortunately where they also do hide a lot of transactions. That usually is a little bit more difficult to kind of tell, and that's the whole purpose of the dark pool. It was created to be kind of anonymous. So again, that's something most likely shorts are kind of hiding behind. Right now with that 655, it is right below this R2, and this is something I've brought up for the last several trading days, that it really needs to hit and break above, ideally, that 666. So the high for today, 664. Yesterday, I think it was 662 or 663. So ultimately, it does really need to get above there by, I'd say, midday tomorrow. If not, then most likely you'll be seeing some level of consolidation. And that's typically normal. Happens both ways. So whenever a stock is selling off, if it keeps bouncing off of a good support level, typically you see a nice push higher. And actually, I do believe that's like what truly did happen way back here. It kept pounding at that like 440 range, if I remember correctly, and finally the stock just had enough and it kind of moved higher, and then we kind of don't look back. I think the same might potentially happen if we do fail to get above that 666 tomorrow. So again, just kind of watch for that. And then in theory, if we are able to get above that, then 735 will be the next strong kind of point to watch for. Aside from all of that fun stuff on the actual chart itself, market is about to close in about 30 minutes, give or take. But on the actual chart, there's not really much negatives to bring up. So it is above all the key pivotal moving averages. So the 10, 50, 100, 200, stochastic RSI, no different than the last several trading days, is considered fairly overbought. Nothing really coming out from any analysts nor any articles. So today is more of just a technical driven day, plus just very reactive to macro conditions. So kind of a breath of fresh air, I guess. But based on the market position, you do still see a lot of willing buyers. So that's, again, something that NIO definitely does have going for it. That's been a lot better than a lot of other growth and speculative stocks. So let me know your thoughts on NIO. Are you taking advantage of kind of it flat today and maybe buying more, or do you think that we are going to be kind of consolidating next? What's your honest opinion of all that? One final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades, worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.